Hi, we went to Muenster for Christmas this year. The first day, we went to the Weihnachtsmarkt. There are actually 5 different Weihnachtsmarkts around different places in Muenster, and this is a picture of one of them. There were a few more. It's a Christmas market. They only have it just before Christmas, and there's lots of things for sale. You can see my sister in the blue shirt and Mark buying socks and Elizabeth helping them. This is in one of the Weihnachtsmarks, which was very fun. Then the next day, we went for a walk around town. On the left, there's Javi and Chelo and Paco, and we're walking by a house which was very cool. In the middle, there's a picture of one of the churches. They have these beautiful mosaics over the doors. It's not stained glass, it's mosaic. And then, of course, there's Bob, and he was taking a picture, but it was a picture of a good thing, so I took a picture of the Bob taking the picture. I think this was possibly the next day walking around Muenster. You see the downtown square. This is the place where all of the downtown shops are, and they have this beautiful front with the little curves in front of all the stores. And old-fashioned Middle Ages stuff. They have signs over some of the stores that indicate what they sell. Like there's a man kicking a ball. I don't know what it was indicating, but anyway, he was there. And then I saw this beautiful display outside of a bakery. All of the things, the trees, the stars, the people, those are all made out of cookies and breads. And then on the day 3, Soren showed up. You don't see a lot of picture of Soren because he's very self-conscious, but you can see here's the family for dinner. So Bob you see up front, and then Paco right behind him. That's Javi's dad, and Chelo, Javi's mom, and David, Javi's brother, and then a little bit of Soren with his hand in front of his mouth, and then Javi and Elizabeth, and I'm taking the picture, and I think that's the right number of people. And there is Soren and Elizabeth. They're at the botanical garden right now being goofy, and Bob is taking this picture, but that's okay. Goofy is good. The 24th, everything was all shut down. But when we went downtown, we saw here was Santa Claus riding a bike through town, pulling a little sleigh. He actually had stuff to sell on his cart, but there was hardly anybody there. Like there was nothing happening in this huge city after about 2 o'clock on the 24th. Now, after Christmas, we went to Vischering. Vischering was a castle, and it was way, way cool. So outside of the castle, there is a double moat. Here's the waterfall and the dams for one of the moats, and then you can see backed up on the other side of that waterfall is a stream, and on the right-hand side, some more of one of the moats. And here's where the castle stands. I kind of bunched those together, but it's a pretty big castle. And it's there with moat all around and more moat all around of it. And then in the woods around the castle, there is Soren with a purple hat and Elizabeth with a red shirt and Bob with a camera backpack. And here's one of the portcullises. There are 2 different portcullises over 2 different axes. 2 different places where it has a little bridge over the moat. And here's another great picture of that castle. This one Bob took probably because it's a good picture. And they had swans in the moats. It was so cool. And there is Soren and me and somebody else, and we don't know who that was. And Bob, David took the picture, and he was a little nervous because there was somebody else there. But I'm saying, hey, hurrah, we got these 3 people all there in the one picture. Then, the same day, Bob drove us on to Tecklenburg. Bob drove one car, David drove the other. Tecklenburg is a super old-fashioned, itty-bitty town. No cars, just walking, cobblestones all over the place, and this Teutonic white and brown stuff that holds the things up, and that's where we had lunch and walked around a little bit. The picture on the right, you get to see some roofs. And then, I don't know, one day, maybe the same day, another day, we went to St. Paul's Dome. Dome means cathedral, for a concert. And it was a pretty good concert. Bob liked it better than I did because it was a concert and it was voices, but that's okay. And these are pictures of things they have there. They have this clock that shows the time in a lot of different places and where the sun and the moon and the stars are, and it's got Jupiter and Mercury listed and all kinds of stuff I didn't get. And there's a stained glass window and a whole bunch of things built up, super high ceilings. And then after a while, we had to go home. So here's a train station. It looks like Orly, but it's a train station. I think it was Cologne. And then there's these pictures of little bitty garden things at the edges of town. We weren't sure if it was Romany houses or what, but it turns out it's like Victory Gardens and you can rent them. And these two castles seen through the train windows. There were lots more along the Rhine. And eventually, I guess we just had to get on the airplane and go home. But it was a lot of fun.